Justin Bieber has, for the longest time now, been used and abused by the industry thanks to Diddy. Now, though, he has gotten his revenge by leading the feds to Diddy, something Gene Deal warned would happen.
Now, do you think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for to make a witness out of him or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness. Right?
I mean, wherever you want to go.
Check this out, yo. Justin, he's in, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
All of this led to Justin Bieber growing up around celebrities who just continuously took advantage of him.
Listen closely.
You want to hear? Oh, really? Oh, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
So why don't you give me the sex talk?
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Oh.
Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird. Let's talk about the album.
Okay, what's going on with your new album?
Some really weird questions. And, you know, I'm only 15. My mom was like
things on blast, you know.
You want to say it again? You have beautiful lips.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
You have good lips.
Thank you, bro.
Wait, just wear condoms. Yeah, serious.
Harry, who apparently wanted to know what a Bieber butt felt like.
The Year Award at the American Music Awards and managed to shock the teenage pop superstar. She presented with Luke Bryan and before Bieber with kisses on the neck and a butt grab. Backstage, McCarthy joked about what Bieber jokingly called violating.
I did grab his butt. I'm single, but I think that's cougar rape. I did grab his butt. I'm single, but I think that's cougar rape.
So was the butt grab spontaneous?
Well, it better be, because that's just weird if it isn't. Yeah, I gave him a kiss and there was a lot of lipstick, and then my partner Luke decided to wipe it off, and I was like, no, so I did that for a reason. So you remember me. So then I couldn't help it. He was just so delicious. So little. Just I wanted to tear his head off and eat it.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
No one's listening, and that's just fucking lonely. I'm so lonely. Lonely. Everybody knows my past now. Like my house was always made of glass.
Now, though, Diddy has nowhere to run. He must pay the price of what he has done, at least according to Gene Deal. For example, he even brought up how Usher went through something similar to Justin.
Looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher name redacted, you could tell who it is because they described him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. Right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have that situation, led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy camp?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows. The white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Jaguar Wright even brought up one disturbing encounter between Justin and Odell Beckham.
That really disturbing footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
Yes.
Like, and Trey's like literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
The boy came up with his mouth wet.
Mouth wet.
What?
Dribbling. Now, what they're going to try to say is, no, Justin Bieber was just doing a line of coke. No, he didn't mess with his nose when he came up.
He doing a line of coke with his mouth.
He wiped his mouth. When you do
his mouth was wet.
You do this when you finish your line.
You wipe your mouth when you sucking dick. That wasn't post-nasal drip. That was seminal fluid.
It was Odell dick. But Diddy taught him well, right?
The flavor freak off.
Scooter Braun taught him well. Justin Bieber spent 48 hours with Diddy. Talking about we about to get it in. I'm gonna let you drive the car when you 15. That boy ain't been the same since. Got all this anxiety. Face collapsed from all the dick he done sucked.
What Meek Milk said is that expensive kind.
He also went on to talk about how he is willing to pull back the curtain on everything Diddy has done.
You think it's possible that Cassie will help the feds bring Diddy down? Because I know her lawyer came out making a comment saying that, you know, they don't got no problem helping the feds.
She gonna have to. Because she made statements. So then they will subpoena her. If you don't go to court after you being subpoenaed, they can lock you up for the life of the trial. Or she could become a non-compliant witness, whereas that a hostile witness where she say, I revoke my constitutional right and don't say nothing. I invoke my constitutional right. You know what I'm saying? And don't say nothing. She could do that. But she has to answer the subpoena. And I don't think she's going to sit down and go to court or go to jail for Diddy. You understand? If she is subpoenaed to come in there and speak on what happened to her, I believe she would do it. So Cassie, yeah. Even if they call me about the abuse with Kim, they say, yo, Gene, did you see him beat Kim? I said, on that particular case, no. Have I seen him rough Kim up and use the pillow? He liked to play fight and be hurting the girls while he play fight. Have I seen him do that? Yeah, I seen him done that. Because I was like a big uncle one time. So now, when he gets to the hospital, his right wrist is ripped open. So, Mr. Dill, when you got to the hospital, what happened? Well, I seen his wrist ripped up. I would testify that I seen his wrist wrapped up in a t-shirt, and he said it right there in front of Kim. You know what I'm saying? That, you could have killed him because she hit an artery. You understand? And I would tell how I saw how Kim looked, and I would testify to everything if I was told to. If I was brought in to testify against that. You understand? I'm not gonna sit there and wait in jail for him. Nah, I wouldn't do that.
So you don't have no problem testifying?
I have no problem sitting in the court of law, doing my due diligence and testifying on stuff that I already spoke of on the internet. When I talked about him abusing Kim and she had to cut his wrist to get him off of him, I would tell what I saw when I went to the hospital. I have no problem. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody think. If I've already said it on the internet, if I've already said it on different platforms and programs, why wouldn't I? I have no problem with saying the relationship with him and Keefe D. Problem in saying that he went to Suge Knight and asked Suge Knight, are we good out here? When Pac was right behind Suge, Suge had a red Bentley, Rolls Royce Bentley. Pac had the white one in the back of the House of Blues. I have no problem in saying that I told him if we go out this house, somebody gonna die tonight. And the Notorious Big came up dead. I have no problem in saying what I've been saying for years, since 97. If I'm brought into a court of law to testify on things that they want to ask me regarding his character or anything that I've displayed out here.
After facing several civil lawsuits since late last year, recording mogul Sean Diddy Combs is now apparently under federal scrutiny. The inquiry and lawsuits represent a significant shift in public view of Combs, who is recognized for defining the landscape of hip-hop and R&B in the 1990s and beyond, helping to transform the genre into a global sensation. The BET Awards honored Combs with a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2022, while MTV awarded him the Global Icon Award in 2023. After the rapper and music executive's residences were searched, public scrutiny of Sean Combs and two of his sons increased, with serious allegations of abuse by Sean Combs dating back decades coming to light. Sean Combs' former partner, singer Cassie, accused him of rape and abuse in November 2023. On November 16th, the singer, whose official name is Cassandra Ventura, filed a civil action in federal court in New York City, alleging that Combs raped and physically assaulted her, including beatings during their relationship. Ventura was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands, according to the complaint. This is well documented in terms of key witness accounts.
So looking at this lawsuit, she alleges that, Diddy, he'll make her look online for BBCs for their freak-off sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her? It's something fishy about that, bruh. Because you got to realize this lawsuit and the information they had and they gave the Diddy people was 6 months ago. So some of that stuff was cut out. Okay, we're gonna give you this, but you gotta cut this part out. Let's just say allegedly, or just for the sake of it, Cassie wasn't the only one who wanted, or she didn't want it, but Cassie, who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black, not only for herself, but for somebody else who we all know that was in the room with her.
So you feel like Diddy was having sex with the male prostitutes?
They had to be for both of them. They was in the room. Right?
You're right.
It's a freak-off section. Right? She said it's a freak-off section. If she says a freak-off section, brother, she ain't the only one freaking off. The prostitute ain't the only one freaking off. Old boy is freaking off also.
Right. So you think he was letting these guys use their BBCs on him?
I think that, and me just being a trained investigator and reading through the lines of certain things, And one time I had read something that Cassie couldn't take it no more. She told her friend, and this was she was under a non-disclosure and everything like that. She told her friend she couldn't take it no more because she had seen this dude do something. I've heard plenty of stories about him being on a yacht. That same yacht that Kim was on, and the same yacht she got her nose broken on, that somebody was doing something to him when they walked in the room, and it caused Cassie may have seen some stuff that she ain't really want to look at. But it was freak off day.
Right. And when I look at this lawsuit, man, you know, Cassie, she also alleges that, you know, while she was having sex with these male prostitutes, the male prostitutes, and Diddy, they all wore masquerade masks.
He didn't want her to know who they were. So if she ever wanted to do what she just did, how does she say how the person look? All she could describe is if they was wearing masks, unless she saw them before they put the mask on. It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this and try to engage other men into sexual acts with a story that he was trying to get Chris Brown. There's stories about, you know, those young boys that he had, a group B5 or something like that, trying to get them. Yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got sexual charges and everything on him, but he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN. It's keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out.
The complaint alleged that Combs used illegal substances and threats of violence to force Miss Ventura into repeated unwanted encounters with male sex workers. The complaint also claimed that Combs destroyed rapper Kid Cudi's, real name Scott Mescudi, car after discovering that he was romantically interested in Ventura. In a response to the New York Times, a Mescudi official corroborated the claim, stating, "This is all true." Combs has disputed the charges in the case, stating through his lawyer Benjamin Brafman that he vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. His counsel denied the charges, calling them disrespectful and unreasonable. Teen Vogue reached out to Combs, but he denied further comment through a spokesman. Combs and Ventura settled just one day after the case was filed. On the evening of Friday, November 17th, both parties stated that they had reached a mutual agreement to resolve the lawsuit, but neither divulged the terms of the settlement. In a statement, Combs added, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support, Ventura said in a statement. While this lawsuit was promptly settled, it was the first of several that would charge Diddy with similar actions. In one case, Joy Dickerson-Neal claims Combs drugged and assaulted her in 1991 when she was in college. She seeks restitution for injuries from the assault and from the alleged distribution of explicit material by Combs. Combs' representative denies the allegations, calling them fabricated. Another lawsuit filed by Liza Gardner accuses Combs and singer Aaron Hall of coercion and assault in 1990. Combs denies all accusations, labeling the suits as money grabs. In a separate lawsuit, an anonymous victim describes being assaulted by Combs and others in 2003. Combs denies these claims, as does Harve Pierre, then president of Combs' record label, Bad Boy Entertainment. While these events allegedly occurred years ago, a federal lawsuit by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones accuses Combs of misconduct during the production of his album, The Love Album, from September 2022 to November 2023. Combs' lawyer dismisses the claims as false. Gene Deal had some thoughts on this.
Yeah, man, that's a wild situation, man. And he's also alleging that, Diddy and his son Justin shot a producer named G, and they told him not to say anything and say it was a drive-by.
Right.
You heard about that, yeah?
And that's the whole thing about it. When Diddy told the people that was in the I guess at the studio that time, that said that it was a drive-by. This is what the little girl, not a little girl, I'm sorry about that. Her name is Tiffany Red. Just what she was speaking about on her thing, bro. She was saying, like, in order to get in that studio, you got to be buzzed in about 3 or 4. You got to get buzzed in 2 or 3 times. There's no blood coming from the outside to the inside. He got pictures. I saw the pictures. He got pictures of all the blood and everything in the bathroom. He took pictures, bro. Now, Diddy is messing with an investigation of a shooting. If he told people to lie and tell the cops that it was a drive-by, and then he had people that he had hired, that people that he knew that was cops and there's friends of his that came in, that talked to the people, that's instruction. Was it instruction? He's instructing of justice when he's trying to interfere with an investigation. He could be charged with that because nobody was ever found in the shooting. So that case can still be open because that kid was shot. Whoever shot that kid in the bathroom, well, it was Justin or Diddy. One of them did it because 3 of them went in the bathroom together. G, Justin, and Diddy. One got shot. Unless the kid gonna say he shot himself. But Diddy still obstructed justice because he had everybody, he told the people in the studio, he told all the people, and he lied and paid everybody off to lie. He probably paid the guy off who got shot and say, yo, man, listen here, take this money and say that it was a drive-by. So if the DA wanted to get him on something, that's enough right there. That's a criminal act. That's an open case. But the police know it's a lie anyway. You know why?
Why's that?
Any of those studios and anybody that have insurance on a facility have to have surveillance cameras a certain amount of feet away from your facility. So if it was a drive-by, they would have to go to the videotape and the surrounding videotape. So they knew that was a lie. But because he had the money and he had the cops on his payroll, nobody did nothing about it.
In March 2024, Homeland Security investigations searched Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami following the lawsuits. Firearms were reportedly found, but Combs was not arrested. His lawyer condemns the search as excessive and reaffirms Combs' innocence. Videos showed agents entering Combs' home and detaining individuals, including 2 of his sons. Despite speculation, no arrests have been made, and Combs and his family retain their freedom to travel. Grace O'Marquez filed a 31-page civil case in Los Angeles County Superior Court on April 4, 2024, describing an incident that allegedly occurred in 2022 while she was a crew member on a boat hired by Sean Combs.
Name, but I believe it is O'Marquez. Grace O'Marquez in Los Angeles Superior Court accusing 26-year-old Christian Combs of drugging her and sexually assaulting her in December of 2022 when she was working in a charter boat in St. Martin. So according to the lawsuit, O'Marquez says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, O'Marquez says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure O'Marquez to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. O'Marquez alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. O'Marquez reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." O'Marquez then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time. So this was a way for her to get out of it. O'Marquez then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." O'Marquez says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in. Now, the lawsuit goes on to say that O'Marquez told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her, didn't do any sort of real investigation. She says the captain retaliated against her for months after the alleged assault, before ultimately firing her in May of 2023. Now, aside from her account, aside from a potential other witness, right, the person that allegedly walked in on this, what proof is there that this happened? Well, she reportedly has photos of the bruises that she says were caused by this event with Christian Combs.
O'Marquez claims in her lawsuit that Christian her, only stopping when another boat staff entered the room. The photos in the court filing appear to show bruising on the plaintiff's forearm. While both Christian and Sean Combs are mentioned as defendants, the lawsuit charges Sean Combs with aiding and abetting. In a statement to us, an attorney representing Combs criticized O'Marquez's accusations, stating, "We have not seen this woman's claim, but I'm sure we can expect the same kind of manufactured lies, just as we saw in Rodney Jones's lawsuit." An attorney for both Combses told NBC News that the lawsuit was lewd and meritless. That's all for the video, folks.